the entire world was shocked. And what was the point of the shock? The appeals committee of CAF released a decision, a verdict, that put the entire footballing world in a frenzy. Now, a background to this, earlier this year, in the middle of January, the African Cup of Nations final held in Morocco between Senegal and Morocco. Towards the end of the game, practically the last minute of the game, just before that, a goal by Senegal was ruled out for a foul on Achraf Hakimi. Not more than 5-10 minutes after that, a penalty was awarded to Morocco. It was going to be practically the last kick of the game, and the Senegalese players were not having it because they felt they had been treated unfairly from the start of the game. So a chaos erupted. Some Senegalese players walked off the field. After about 10 minutes of mediation and all that, the Senegalese players came back to the field, agreed to continue the game. The referee restarted the game from a penalty kick. Of course, remember that Panenka, that's a horrible Panenka by Brian Diaz, which was missed, which was caught by Edouard Mendy, which took the game to extra time. In extra time, Senegal scored, and at the end of the day, Senegal won and were presented with the medal. About 2 weeks after the final, Morocco filed an appeal to the CAF, saying that they believe that at the point the Senegalese players walked off the field, that game should have been walkover for them, and that they believe that that game should be awarded to them, 3 goals and a win. As at that point, everyone thought it was absurd. But then earlier this week, the CAF Appeals Committee came up with a decision, and they agreed with Morocco and stripped Senegal of the title and awarded the Premier for the first time. We have never seen a final that was played for 2.5 months before. But then, after about 3 months, we finally have an AFCON champion. VR review that took about 2 months, 3 months. Finally VR brought his verdict, and it's Morocco. I mean, first, let me start with Fahad. What was your first reaction when you saw this news? Because my first reaction was fake news. What kind of nonsense is it? Who is cooking up all this fake news again? And then I went to a popular, blogger on X, and then I checked my mail and saw that CAF had sent the mail. It's like, can this be real? How did you feel when you saw that issue?
I mean, I was in the video when I was watching Chelsea getting destroyed by Paris Saint-Germain. That was when I saw the news.
Yeah, that was when the news broke.
Yeah,
in fact, that helped Chelsea fans because they did not get trolled as much as if Chelsea now lost 0-3 at Stamford Bridge. Nobody even they didn't even trend.
I was honest. I was surprised. Like, what's going on here? Like, what are CAF trying to do? What are they even trying to do? I mean, giving Morocco the African title after how many months? I'm like, nah, it's not impossible. So I just went, slept off. I woke up to eat, and I was like, okay, this thing's real. I like, not be fake.
Yes.
So I went to check, this thing is getting real. So I had to go check all the different channels, and I was like, okay, yeah, I think they've really gone out of their mind.
What was this the right decision? Sure.
My perspective or the general perspective?
No, your perspective.
Well, yeah, I don't want to start going long because we should start from the incidents that happened. What was the body language of the Moroccan player and the Moroccan football team and the coaching department when Senegal left the pitch and they did what they did? What was their reaction? They felt, what's going on? They didn't actually go to the referee
and tell you, end the game now. They have gone.
End the game. So the body language, I'm saying these are as medicine after them because the body language of the coaching crew should have been, you should have gone to referee, do your work. Do your work. Why are you not doing your work? You let the play, forfeit the game and give us 3 points.
Just to note, the only authority in football that has the right to declare a forfeit in a football game Is the referee. Okay, that being said, Tunde, you are of the opinion that the appeals committee may be right about.
I am of the opinion that Moroccans are intelligent. They are taking every necessary means to their advantage. Firstly, right from the competition, being the host nation, they were taking that as an advantage. Firstly, they were using the best pitch for their own matches while giving other teams the other pitches. And also, they were doing some illegal things that they should have been stopped. Probably the first time they made that attempt. And they tried it. CAF never said anything, and they continued. Now, looking at this set piece routine of Arsenal FC, the corner kick routine, people were like, hey, it's illegal in football, it's this,
dark arts,
but there was a legend that said something. Was it not really that Arsenal is doing this? There's nothing in the rule that against you obstructing the player from jumping as much as you are not holding him. Do you understand? And since it's not in the rule, Arsenal are doing it, they are using it to get the win. Why can't you also do it? And right now, you can see several teams also doing the same things now. Liverpool is doing it, even Chelsea are doing it. Several other teams have started, even Everton, doing that same thing. Now, that's you trying to get your results by all means. Now, coming to this AFCON competition, I think they started some of these things. Probably it was obvious at the semi-final against Nigeria. Prior to the final, CAF didn't say anything. So they didn't stop, they continued. And now the final came, and during the game, Senegal scored a goal. I was telling someone that everything that happened in that match was the referee's error. Because he should have maintained his stand, let the goal count, let the VAR review. Instead of you just blowing the foul immediately. So now, since he has blown the foul prior to the goal, VAR cannot review the goal again. Because he has said the ball is a foul, not that after the goal, before the goal, he has judged that particular scenario as a foul already, so there's no goal review again. So it was, I think, 6 or 7 minutes then, and the Morocco get the penalty, and that was a penalty. Anywhere in the world, that was a penalty. So the Senegalese said they are not playing again. Now,
it was their coach who told them,
yes, leave the pitch. And I was, see, I'm also of the opinion that cheating is not good. But then, can cheating never end? I've been watching football now, personally, I'm not that old, but I think I've been watching football for a few years now. And this thing, it is something that has always been happening. And I've never seen a team left the pitch like that, personally. I've never seen a team. Chelsea was robbed against Barcelona in the Champions League. There were several times Chelsea was robbed against Manchester United. Arsenal has been robbed against Barcelona. Australia was robbed against Italy in the World Cup 2006. I remember vividly at the round of 16. Nothing happened. So now we were being robbed and we walked off the pitch. So I think that was where all of these things started.
Now let's go through the rules of this. Now, the rules that the appeals committee was hinging on is rule 82
yes, and 84.
And 84. Now, rule 82 says that, and this is where the confusion is. Rule 82 says that if a team fails up to show up on the grounds or walks up, leaves the ground mid-game, that the game is awarded to the opponent as a walkover. Now, the English is the grounds. It never said pitch. Now, so many people interpret the ground to mean the stadium. If you leave the stadium. Now, some argue that Senegal did not leave the stadium. In fact, not all Senegalese players even left the field, the pitch. Mane was on the pitch. At least I know of 3 Senegalese players that were on the pitch. Mane was on the pitch. Idrissa Gana Gueye was on the pitch. Ismail Assar was on the pitch. At least I know of those 3. There may be others, but at least I know of those 3 who stayed on the pitch. The only time Sadio Mane left was to go and call his other teammates out so that the game can continue. So, in that case, can you actually say that they left the ground? Because that's what the appeal committee quoted, that if a team leaves the ground during the game, it's awarded. Can it be said that Senegal left the grounds?
Now, let's look at let's look at it. 2019 final, Wydad Casablanca versus Esperance of Tunisia. Wydad Casablanca scored a goal that was ruled for offside, but they asked for VAR to review it, but it wasn't reviewed, and they got angry and decided to walk off. They decided to leave the pitch. They left the pitch as well. They left the pitch in protest or walk off the ground. Anyone, and then the referee on that day awarded Esperance of Tunisia 3 goals and the cup.
The referee, right?
The referee on that day. Yeah. But the key word there is the referee awarded. He invoked Article 82. He invoked Article 82 by awarding Esperance the points, the victory, and also the cup that day. And Wydad Casablanca took it to CAF. Let's not forget, if you are going to CAF, before have to go to the disciplinary committee, then you go to the appeals committee, and then finally you have to go to CAS, which is the highest body.
Yeah.
So they went to CAF. CAF awarded Wydad Casablanca the trophy as well, saying that okay, they actually scored the goal. But then Esperance of Tunisia didn't go to the appeals committee. They went to CAS straight, and CAS decided, you know what? Since the fact that the referee on that day already invoked Article 82, which means that Wydad Casablanca already left the pitch and he invoked Article 82. That means Esperance of Tunisia right now are the champions, and they awarded Esperance of Tunisia back the CAF Champions League trophy. And right now, if Esperance of Tunisia walked off the pitch, and like a lot of people are saying, oh, grounds means if you leave the stadium. If they walk off the pitch and the ref invokes Article 82, they didn't walk off they didn't go out of the stadium. I think we are getting now. They didn't go out of the stadium. They went to the dressing room. They themselves went to the dressing room.
But did they come back? They never came back. They left like that.
No, I think immediately they left. The ref
waited for 15
the match.
minutes.
Yeah. That's when you went for 15 minutes and then you.
In this case, they went off the pitch for 17 minutes.
Which was the Senegalese case?
Yeah, which was the Senegalese case.
But the ref did not invoke Article 2, and also Article 5 of the CAF code says that the referee will have the final say
even in the AFCON
over a football game.
Yeah.
And in this case, the referee restarted the game with the consent of both parties. The game continued for another 30 minutes, and then the referee blew the final whistle, declaring a side the winner. If truly by Article 5 the referee has the final say, does the appeals committee have the right to change what the referee has? Because that poor from the referee is the final. Even if it's a walkout game, if one team does not show up, the referee, after waiting 15 minutes, will still go to the first center circle and blow the 3 final whistle. The referee, when the referee blew that final whistle for the African Cup of Nations final, he declared the champion, which was recognized then and then. The trophy was given to them. Does an appeals committee have the right to undo what the referee did, which is by Article 5, the final?
There is so many departments in CAF, and let me state this: the referee is the representative of CAF on that pitch. Did you get what I said? The ref is the representative. See, there are different segments in CAF. What goes on in the judicial department goes on there. What goes on the field goes on there, and there is a particular representative.
The authority.
The ref is the authority. Now let us be clear with it. After the fracas that happened, everything was settled and there was calmness, and you resumed the game.
Was that a mistake from the referee? Did the referee get carried away? Because I thought what the referee, in the midst of all that chaos, what the referee should have been doing is checking his time. 15 minutes, they are not back yet. You go to the center circle. So did the referee even make a mistake? You go to the center circle and you blow the final whistle and you walk off.
And for everything people supporting Morocco, there was a referee. There was the linesman There was the first referee, second referee, third referee. There are people in
There was
here.
match commissioner.
There was match commissioner. The FIFA president was on seat. The CAF president was on seat. The president of Morocco was on seat. And there are so many. Zidane was on seat. There are so many icons, football icons that were on seat. And let's leave that. Put it in the hands of the authorities. They were on seat and they didn't see anything.
They didn't communicate.
Musepe
did not communicate to the match
Musepe never communicated
to tell the referee to end this game.
It never did that, and the game went on. After the game went on, they played their penalty. They lost. The
game continued.
The game continued. From there, they went to extra time. Yeah, the extra time. They scored the goal. You pointed to the center field, which is a goal.
Does the appeals committee have the right to overturn the referee's decision?
It's illegitimate for me, sincerely.
Do you agree with that?
Well, looking at this case, the appeal committee is a judiciary section, and looking at the section of the constitution that the Moroccans ever invoked, I think that was what the appeal committee worked on. I am of the standard that the Morocco have been very wise. So because they were never against the referee's decision. If you check the news, if you read everything, they were never against the referee's decision, or it's not they were against even Senegal. They were just standing on abandonment. That was the word they were using.
They weren't wise. Yeah.
So they were standing on abandonment. It's not as if and the quoted article.
But was the game abandoned because game resumed?
Let me correct it. Sorry, I'm very sorry. Let me correct it. They weren't wise.
Okay.
Everything in that particular competition pointed to the fact that Morocco was doing everything possible to win that competition. Should I start putting it straight to you? Firstly, what happened when they played Cameroon? Cameroon had a penalty that was waived off, and you are saying there was a point you said they were using dark arts. It's putting lasers to the eyes of footballers in dark arts.
Is referee not on the pitch? Was referee not on the pitch?
Let me ask you a question. Wait.
Was CAF not watching those matches?
The CAF was watching those matches. There was a particular relationship between Morocco and CAF. I can say it with my full chest that no, it's not
I think we can't.
CAF cannot control what the fans do.
Okay.
I think right now we can't say okay, this referee is this based on the fact that okay, he's from this country. We can't question the credibility of the referee based on the country he's from. So I don't think it would be nice to say the referee is trying to favor Morocco. But if you are going back to the final, one thing is the law. I think we all know the referee is bound by the law. The referee, anything he does on the pitch is based on the law. What does the law say? The law says in Article 2.
After 15 minutes.
After 15 minutes.
And they use 17 minutes.
And they use 17 minutes.
So that's abandonment.
So for
Yes, the
right now, Article 82 says after 15 minutes, I think automatic cancellation, automatic 3 points to the opponent.
So everything after that 15 minutes was null and void.
Well, I think it's now based on I think what's happened right there was maybe misinterpretation of the referee. He didn't really interpret the law very well.
So sorry, please, to support what they had just said. I believe everybody was shocked. Nobody was expecting something like that to happen in that. Even the people on the pitch, the dignitaries on the pitch, no one was expecting that okay, a particular set of players would leave the pitch for that time. So I don't think the ref was even really prepared for, this is something that I think we have not even experienced up to 5 times. Something like this has happened. Now, it happened, but I believe, coming back to Jola's case, the appeal committee, what I think they should have done better is, instead of just awarding the cup back to Morocco, they should have looked for a more, a better approach.
What should have been the better approach?
Probably because things like this has happened. And whenever things like that has been to CAF, the worst thing they've ever done is play the match. I think it happens, there was a match Uzbekistan versus Albania, something like that happened. They had the rematch. Even now, there was a World Cup qualifier between South Africa and one other team. That they said the ref was corrupt, something like that. The case went to CAF. So there was a rematch. That was the max CAF has ever done.
And this is probably the final point. Do you think CAF will pull? Because already Senegal, Morocco released a statement saying they accept the agreement, and of course that Senegal also released a statement saying that it's injustice, blah 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 blah. But the point is they're going to CAS. Do you think CAS will uphold this judgment overturn it?
The CAS will overturn it. Let me tell you, the reason I think CAS will overturn it is, firstly,
based on what? Because CAS will use
why did CAF reduce the sanction of Morocco? I'm still saying the CAF is being partisan in this case. They reduced the sanction of Morocco. Do you know, after the match, the Morocco Football Association didn't let journalists interview players and coach? Do you know, after the match, the Moroccan Football Association denied Senegal of a bus back to their hotels? They had to rent a public bus. Do you know, after that match, the Moroccan football authorities deprived Senegal of security back to their hotel? Why? And there was a sanction for you gave a sanction for all this, but after this overturn, you reduced everything. So what are you trying to tell us?
Well, I think that's what the appeals committees do actually. They mostly reduce. I remember the NFF appeals committee when Remo Stars was banished from their stadium for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
And
the appeals committee came and said, okay, only for whether 6 games or 5 games, and that they are 70, they should go back to their stadium. So the appeals committee generally, but do you think CAS will uphold this?
Well, I think this is gets tricky because if you look at anytime CAF, like the 3 times CAF have gone to CAS, they've not gotten a favorable result.
By the way, CAS is the court of arbitration for sports. That's the biggest court.
So in 2010, AFCON 2010, when Togo were that was hosted in Angola, when Togo were actually coming to Angola, they passed through a terrorist stronghold in Angola because Angola were actually fighting. I think there was terrorists in Angola at that time. So Togo actually passed through one of their strongholds and they were attacked. They killed 3 of them. 3 people died and 9 persons were injured. And Togo had to go back to their country. I think that was one of the reasons why Emmanuel Adebayo actually retired from international football at that time. So at that time, CAF actually decided, okay, you know what? They find Togo and decided, okay, you won't be playing at AFCON for the next 2 AFCON. And Togo took them to CAS. And he got overturned. That's one. Where CAF didn't have favorable result at CAS. Second one was when RS Berkane, they at one point in time, in front of their shirts, they wore the map of Greater Morocco in their shirts. And CAF said,
with the including the disputed land with
Algeria.
Yeah.
And CAF said, okay, this thing is legal. And they took RS Berkane and CAF to CAS. And CAF said, okay, you know what? This is illegal. They need to only have the map of Morocco in front of their shirts. And right now, RS Berkane only have the map of Morocco in front of their shirts. And the third one is the case of Wydad Casablanca and also Esperance of Tunisia. Yeah. So that's the third one. So those 3 times, CAF did not get a favorable result at CAS. So it's going to be a very, very interesting one. What CAS would actually do at this time?
Yeah. Finally, well, on a very interesting note, the chairman of CAF Appeals Committee is actually Nigerian. She's Justice Roli Daibo Ariman. She was the chairman, and it's her signature on that particular document. I wish that a Nigerian was not involved in this, but then it is what it is. There you go. You have heard the full analysis and breakdown of this. So it's not just about emotions. You see that we're not emotional. We went through the rules. It's not just about emotion. This I never approved. This cannot be done. Sometimes the rules are unfair, and that's why lawyers have a way of bending. Yes, no. Because sometimes the rules are unfair, but the thing is the rules are the rules. Well, let's know what you think in the comment section. Was CAF right? Do you think court of evaluation of sports will overturn this decision?